a forgotten fort in Torgal. Around 10 kilometers away from Ramdur Taluk, the drive on a rugged terrain took me uphill where the fort is located. Even as I negotiated the numerous sugarcane filled tractors on the stretch, the whiff of fresh air lashed with sugary fragrance was enough to infuse enthusiasm and eagerness. A few sugar factories have mushroomed up in the vicinity. None can miss the fort atop which seems to be beckoned every passerby. Torgal Fort is not only majestic but also well planned and meticulously built with an eye for detail. The location and terrain indicate that the fort was impregnable in the times of its glory. A huge moat of 20 feet deep and 15 feet wide encircles the fort, built with yellow and red Shahabali stones. The fort is surrounded by rocky hills on three sides. River Malaprabha flows silently on the other side and was a source of water to the moat that surrounds the structure. I looked around for local persons who could provide information about the fort. They happily obliged and gave me numerous accounts of the fort. Stone inscriptions in Persian and Kannada languages installed outside the fort to greet the visitors. These inscriptions date back to the 16th century. Turgal Fort was originally constructed with seven encircles of fortifications, of which only five remain in the sound state now. Hideouts can be found every 300 feet, and watchtowers with minarets are present all four sides of the fort. It is said that huge guns with stone balls were placed inside the fort, and only two remain on display now. It is clear that not much effort has been made to preserve the fort and structures it houses. The locals enlightened me that the Turgal fort had four entrances, of which only one on the eastern side is presently used. As I went further, I came across a few structures that are in ruins. A few stone slabs tempted me to rest on them for a while. I soaked myself into the eerie silence that was interrupted by the gusty winds. Deep into the interiors, I came across the structure with several carvings, which the locals too fumbled to decipher. Turgal Fort is spread over 100 acres, and the Rajwada or the palace is located in the center and sprawls over 5 acres. I found various complexes that remain differently structured, including a horse stable, courtroom, marketplace, armory, warehouse, etc. It is believed that before the fort came up, a village woman called Malama, who was pregnant, attended Samadhi for the prosperity of the village. She is highly revered and a memorial has been constructed in her memory. The memorial is located on the northern side of the fort. The Budnath temple, which depicts the Chalukya style of architecture, and a mosque can also be seen inside the fort complex. Then let's go to the rulers. While reading a few references from the history, I could gather that 9 generations of Shinde kings ruled the region. The last among them was Narasoji Rao Shinde, who ruled the Turgal Jagir between 1932 to 1949. In 1949, the kingdom was emerged into the Republic of India. As a mark of respect, people from Turgal and surrounding villages addressed Sanjay Singh, the descendant of the royal family, as the Maharaja. The Sindhe family continues to reside in the Wade, located near the palace. In 1100 AD, King Bhutasarya is said to have developed the Turgal fort and the village. When Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj decided to expand his kingdom, he is said to have sent 12 battalions under the able guidance of his trusted soldiers. So, that's what I could say. Thank you. Bye.